So you beautiful people, it's Trakky and welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video, I'm going to go through the perks that I use in my custom loadout. Now you've heard me say previously, I'm not a massive fan of the custom loadouts, mainly for the weapon side of things. It seems to have people running the generic stuff that was in the multiplayer game. So you see a lot of M4s with thermal sights and a lot of sniper rifles with thermal sights. But we're going to join the meta because it's very clear one thing from these custom loadouts. You are at a disadvantage if you don't have them because you're at the mercy of the RNG in the game. But these perks that I'm going to give you today are going to give you a much more of an advantage if you are somebody that is going to purchase or go and chase down custom loadouts. They're definitely worth it in terms of the perk side of things, although I'd probably make them spawn a lot less and be slightly more expensive to buy from the buy station. So perk tier 1, we've got double time, EOD, scavenger, cold-blooded kill chain and quick fix, and out of those I always choose cold-blooded. Now you can see on the screen right now I'm trying to snipe a few people in this control tower and they should be glowing white on my screen. Now they should be so obvious for me to see in this thermal scope, but they are using cold-blooded, and this is the difference in this game when you are using this perk. It makes you undetectable by AR targeting systems, which you're not really going to experience in Call of Duty Warzone. Thermal optics, you're undetectable by them, as you're seeing on the screen, and it does not trigger the high alert warning. So if anyone's got high alert on and you've got cold-blooded and you start ADSing and aiming at that particular person, you've got time to line up your shots. If you're using whatever you're using, you can go for that headshot without alerting that person, so they start moving about, panicking, thinking, where is this enemy? Where is this enemy? In terms of perk tier 2, I know a lot of people seem to gravitate towards overkill because they want to carry their primary weapon, which is probably going to be an M4 assault rifle and then a sniper rifle. But I prefer to use a system where I will probably take in the HDR with a thermal scope and put Ghost on instead, and then just pick up a decent AR that I've already probably found by the time I've got enough money to get a loot drop anyway. I feel like the sniper rifles are the more specialist weapons in this game, so that's why I choose my loadout where I don't have to use a perk tier to get the 2 weapons. I just pick one up off the ground. So I use Ghost because it makes you undetectable by the UAVs, radar drones, heartbeat sensors, and I feel like this is especially essential if you survive to the final third of the game. Most battle royales are split into 3 portions during a game. You've got your start phase where you have to accumulate as much weapons, much loot as possible, and get yourself ready for the fray. Then the middle phase is more about traveling, waiting out the storm and seeing what's happening, and then the final phase is the business end where people really start getting into gunfights. But what you'll find is there's quite a few people that will sit back and wait for the storm to dictate their movement and then get in the fight when they have to. And these are usually the people that are quite equipped with UAVs and heartbeat sensors tracking your movement, and there's nothing better than using Ghost and catching these people off guard at the last second and you taking that kill, because at the end of the day, once you have these people in your sights and you startle them, you're more than likely going to win that gunfight. And then finally, for my last perk, I tend to use the likes of Tuned Up. Now this will reduce your revive time, self-revive and reviving your teammates by approximately 25%. Now it takes around 5.25 seconds to revive either your teammates or yourself without this equipped. Now with my measurements here and my timing and stuff using 60 frames per second, I didn't quite get 25%. I got more like 20%. Now I don't know if this was because my measuring was slightly off and there's a bit of human error here, or there is actually a bug with Tuned Up. But irrespective of that, it will still give you a whole entire second off your revive time, and this is very important during a fight. Quite often in that, and you'll see in the footage in front of you, you will get hit from a distance where the enemy can't quite finish you off and you are able to get behind some sort of cover. And usually what happens is they get overzealous and they really want that kill so they come and chase you down, and quite often enough, if you have got tuned up on, you will get the revive off a lot quicker than they suspect, and you're able to set yourself up in a position where you may catch them off guard. So it's just increasing your longevity and likelihood to survive within the map, and that's why I use tuned up. If I don't use tuned up or I'm playing solos, then I may switch over to the likes of Trakky, just to give me that additional support to find where enemies may be that are close to me. Guys, there are many buttons you could hit, but a like and subscribe button, I hope they tickle your fancy. And as always guys, don't forget to stay on the right track. Peace.